Ever had to do a working class without any guidance? Preparing your day the day before is the starting action of every great man. But why is having a routine so important? I'll answer that. But before that, who am I? My name is Wesley, and my mission is to help young men, especially young entrepreneurs, with their porn addiction. My bigger mission, my purposeful mission right now, is to help prevent 100 men from getting to suicide because of porn addiction. These are my type of videos, and if that interests you, make sure you subscribe. Are you having problem finishing your stuff because don't have enough time in your day? You always have low energy, you can't start anything because you don't have motivation either. Are you suffering with anxiety and depression? It's all related to porn uses. Check out the link in the description. On that, let's continue directly with the video. Creating a structure, so a routine, is really great for yourself because first of all, it removes all of your anxiety. If you already know, it's for example 4 p.m. right now, and you already know that at 5 you have to do meditation, at 6 you have to read, at 7 you have to brush your teeth, and at 8 you have to go and sleep. You have to read, and at 9 you're going to go and sleep. Well, when it's 5, you're not going to ask yourself, what am I going to do? And oh my god, what can happen in the rest of my day? Like, it's already planned. You already know that this is going to happen. So there is no anxiety. You don't have to be stressed about anything coming up. You already planned what's going to happen. So it's going to happen. You just have to follow the plan that you made. So that's a big part in removing your anxiety. And it's also way easier to be more productive that way. If you know that the day before you already planned the next day, and you planned yourself to do 4 tasks, and you kind of separated these 4 tasks into little steps, you know that if you put at 5 p.m. you have to do this task, well, at 5 p.m. you're going to do this task. And at the end of the day, when you check mark every task that you made, you will see that you accomplished way more than you usually do. So maybe before you were doing like 1 to 2 tasks each day, but now that you have your routine and you have planned your day in advance, you put 4 tasks that you have to do today. At the end of the day, you will already have finished with those 4 tasks, and you will have accomplished way more than usual. Visualize this right now. You're in the middle of the forest, and you have to get out of the forest. So you set yourself the goal that you have to get out of the forest. Because that's your goal, every path that can lead to the exterior of the forest, you will take this path, right? And you will kind of also check at maybe the sky to look for the stars so that they can guide you. And every decision that you're going to make is related to escaping the forest. But now compare yourself with the other person that didn't set the goal to get free from this forest. So he sees an animal and he stops and look at the animal, and in his head he's thinking, wow, that animal is so beautiful. And after he found a cave, and in one way it's a cave so that he can go like underground and search for more beautiful things and everything. And on the other path, it's a path that goes outside of the forest. But he didn't set himself a goal. So right now you have a decision to do. It's either he goes in the cave to see something more beautiful, or he get out of the forest. He chose the cave because he didn't set himself a goal. You don't have the goal to get out of the forest. So you go inside the cave to see more beautiful things, and when he goes into the cave, he slips up and clack his head on a rock and dies there. The point of the story is for you to see that by not setting yourself a goal, you're slowing down your progress and you're making worse decisions. If that second person made the right choice to get free and get away from the forest, he wouldn't have died in the cave because he wasn't having any equipment, right? So going in on the underground without equipment, it's dangerous. But if that guy would have set himself the goal to get free and get out of the forest, he would have still been alive. And yes, you can say, oh, it's a story you just made up, I don't know. Yeah, but you still get the point. Even though he didn't die, like imagine this guy is still alive, he's getting out of the forest in like 1 to 2 days. And the first guy that I talked about is getting out of the forest within like 1 hour. Because all of the decision he has to make is in order for him to get out of the forest. And the second guy, all the decision he makes is not in towards a certain goal because he doesn't have the goal. So he's just making decision with his logic. But logic compared to what? Compared to what he thinks is the best. But is the best towards what goal? No goal, because he didn't set himself a goal. So setting yourself a goal is really important and will help you make the right choices to achieve your goal. In any good routine, you have to implement great habits. And great habits can seem boring to do if you never did them before. But implementing good habits will over time replace the bad ones and like improve yourself. Imagine right now if you can fix up your sleep schedule. Maybe right now you're doing like most people and you're sleeping at different hours every day. Sometimes you're sleeping at midnight, sometimes at 2 a.m. in the morning. Sometimes you're sleeping at 3. Sometimes this day you're feeling a little bit more tired. You're sleeping at 10:30 p.m. and things like that. But imagine, let's compare yourself with these other people that every day sleeps at 10 and wakes up at 6 in the morning. First of all, he's way less tired than you when he wakes up in the morning because his brain is getting used to the fact that every day at 10 he has to sleep and at 6 he has to wake up. So at not like maybe 9:50 he's already tired because you know that 10's arriving and at 10 he have to go and sleep. So his brain can produce the melatonin so in order for him to go and sleep. And if you compare that to the other usual type of people, when you go and sleep at 3, your brain thinks, oh okay, he usually sleeps at 3, so that's where I'm going to make him tired. But now the next day you sleep at 2, so your brain is like, oh okay, maybe it's not 3, maybe it's 2 and 3 was just an exception. And after the next day you sleep at midnight and he thinks, oh wow, okay, how could he not stay awake until 2 a.m. So maybe his bedtime is midnight. So now he tries every time to adjust to the new hours that you're giving him, but you keep on changing them. So your brain is never getting used to a specific hour and can't provide you the full benefits of your sleep. So your sleep quality is way worse than someone that is sleeping every day at the same time and wakes up every day at the same time. I'm doing this so much, sleeping every day at the same time and waking up at the same time, that I don't even need an alarm in the morning. Like my alarm is my internal clock, myself. I sleep at around the same time, maybe like 5 minutes interval. But I mean like I'm sleeping at the same time every day. And when I wake up not even with a clock because I'm so used to waking up at the same time that I'm waking up myself at the time. So I'm just sleeping and I'm waking up and it's the time that I usually have to wake up. And that's just because I'm disciplined and I'm always going sleeping at the same time and waking up at the same time. But let's take the same example for someone that is never sleeping at the same time. If he has to wake up at 6 and he's sleeping at midnight this day, he chose to sleep at midnight, there's no way that he will wake up by himself at 6. And now you can say, oh yeah, he can put himself an alarm, but putting yourself an alarm is not good for your body because you're kind of stopping the dream like mid-dream, and your brain is starting stuff up when you're asleep, and when you wake up by an alarm, it stops in the middle of his task. So your brain is less effective because of that. Now you're trying to stop porn, right? And because you're trying to stop porn, you're not going to fap anymore. So that can sometimes free up space in your day, like 1 to 3 hours maybe. because that all depends on how much years have you spent on porn. If you're one of these people that spent easily like 20-25 years on that porn addiction, maybe that right now searching for a video and finding this video is really hard because you kind of watched all the videos. So sometimes just searching for the video takes up to 30 to 45 minutes, and now you watch the video, you come, and it's already been like an hour in total. So that's just one time. Maybe you fought twice every day, and twice every day is not even that big of a number, because I know people that fought a lot more than just twice every day. So imagine twice 1 hour, it's already 2 hours in your day. But now you're trying to stop, you're on the good path to recovery. So that's 2 more hours you have to do. You have things to do in that 2 hours every day. But don't spend that 2 hours with bad habits and other things. Right? You're on your path to recovery to become a greater person. So you have 2 more hours to manage. So that's just the point that I want to mention. Put these 2 hours towards good goal and what you want to accomplish in life. Don't keep these 2 hours like free, because you're either going to be bored or you're going to replace these 2 hours with another addiction or maybe another bad habit, like playing video games or other type of distractions, such as watching movies, watching series, watching maybe anime, playing video games, I already said it, and maybe even social media. You're going to go on social media and scroll for the 2 hours. So that's not the point, right? You're trying to quit your porn addiction. That's great, but the time that it frees up, use it for good uses. And right now, I'm pushing the importance of creating yourself a routine, but your routine is not set in the ground. For example, before I was walking outside before eating, and after doing some research on internet, I found out that eating and going outside to walk after eating is kind of helping yourself to digest food. I don't know if it's true or not, but for myself, when I wake up, first thing I do is work, because I have all of my focus and everything. I have full energy, so I work directly when I wake up. And I love to do big sessions. So right now what I'm doing is like a session of 6 hours. I wake up and I work full on, no distraction, no nothing, for 6 hours. And after that I can kind of relax a little bit more. I do other things, other shallow work, so a little more like work that don't need a lot of concentration to do, making tweets or things like that. So things that don't need a lot of concentration to do. And in order for me to do that 6 hours, before I was walking, before eating my dinner. So instead of doing 6 hours of full work, I was doing like 4 hours, then walking outside 1 hour, then coming back to my room, working for another hour, then going and eating. And I found out that it wasn't productive for me to go and walk at that time, because I was kind of stopping my full production hours to go and walk outside randomly in the day. So what I did is push up that time of walking in the PM, so that in the AM I can work a full 6 hours without getting distracted by something. Because if I go and walk outside, I'm not concentrated on doing my task anymore. I got stopped out. So I'm less productive and I can accomplish less. And so because I did that, I'm way more productive now. And anyway, when I walk outside, I'm kind of relaxed because it's in the end of my day, like it's later in the PM. So I can concentrate on other things than focus on my work. And that's just an example of me changing my routine. But it's to say to you that over time and over years, the routine that you first made up isn't going to stay the same. You may add other good habit in it, and you may change the time that you're doing it because you feel like, oh yeah, it will make more sense for me to do that at this specific time for this reason. And that thing that I was doing there, maybe put it in the around like midnight so that I can do it. For example, before I was doing meditation at the middle of the day, but I found out that meditation calms me. And the moment that in my day I need to be calm and like mindful is before going to sleep, because this will help me get asleep. So what I did, I take the meditation that was in the middle of the day and I put it right before going to bed. So that makes more sense for me. I'm calmer and I calm myself and I focus on myself right before going to bed so that I'm calm and I can go to bed and sleep directly. And that's what I want to mention. It will do changes, but the important point is to keep up the routine. It's important to stay in the routine and keep on doing it. Even though you're changing the hours and trying new things, keep the good habits and remove the bad habits. And that, take care of yourself.